I want to tell you about a wonderful experience I had filming what I've called the Grand Central sessions here for the Archtop Foundation. They featured 3 beautiful players, all very different styles and personalities. This was an opportunity to record jazz guitar in New York. But not only that, I mean, if you're thinking of places in New York where you'd like to record somebody, 20 floors up a skyscraper in Grand Central kind of makes sense. Now, it was hot, even 20 floors up. I mean, this weekend in New York has been absolutely stifling. The humidity must have been about 104%. The guitars were sweating. The players were, by the 5 seconds into sitting down, and I wasn't using lights that give off any heat, but sweat was starting to show, and I was feeling it. I was just so really intense conditions. I tried my best to make sure that everyone was comfortable. I had paper towels and stuff ready, and there was water nearby. I turned the AC on and off, opened windows when I could, but of course, when you open a window in New York, all you get is sirens and shouting and people and all that sort of thing. So it was in an attempt to make the space soundproof as much as I could. I necessarily had to make it oxygen proof as well for a little bit. So we recorded in short bursts. It went really well. I was delighted to have the opportunity to record other people. These past couple of years I've pretty much just been recording myself, and I love my little room, and I love the way that my guitars respond in it, and I know exactly where to put my mics. But it's always a challenge, and always an opportunity to learn when you record somewhere else. So I set up my Gefell M300s, match pair, spaced them a little bit, because we were going to have both, potentially, both archtops with F-holes or something like them, sound holes on the edges, and potentially guitars with a single sound hole in the center. And, they respond differently, and I wanted to make sure that I stood a chance at bringing out the best of these instruments. The first guy I recorded was the Norwegian player Jostein Guldbrandsen. It was my first experience with him, and actually I had deliberately not listened to music from any of these players online because I wanted to arrive without any preconceptions, and I wanted to experience it absolutely fresh. So he came in. Beautiful player. Then we had the pleasure of a visit from Professor Ben Shear. Not just any professor, a professor at Berklee. Oh yes, so this is a man who knows what he's doing, and he did. He went through a breakneck version of Cherokee. He played sensitively, he played some beautiful ballads. Oh, the whole thing is gorgeous, and I'm really looking forward to sitting down and editing all these videos for you. And the final session was with the Brazilian guitarist Chico Pinheiro. I'm still very much at the beginning of my archtop journey, and I'm developing vocabulary to describe and try and assimilate my experiences. Chico's playing reminded me of seeing droplets of mercury spacing out and then coming together again. I can't put it any more succinctly than that. Yeah, just wonderful, and then a great chance to practice not just my Spanish but also my absolutely awful Portuguese. So Chico and I have now agreed to establish the International Brotherhood of Guitaristes Sans Frontières. Guitarists Without Borders, Guitaristas Sem Fronteiras, Guitaristas Sin Fronteras, whatever it happens to be. Either way, you're all invited. There were some interesting things I learned. Recording in hotels, not easy. You get people going up and down, obviously, that sort of thing, doors closing, whatever. But there's the question of space, and especially when you've got so many of these instruments in large cases. As you'll see here, there's a certain amount of acrobatics involved. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, I also had my first experience with a blue guitar. I chose the Quisto because it was the first instrument in the collection. It was, in fact, it was the guitar that inspired the rest of the collection when Scott Chinery first commissioned it from Jimmy DeQuisto. I've never played a DeQuisto guitar before. I know it's a shameful admission, but there you go. I fixed that now, though. It was beautiful. This guitar is the cover girl for the book, and it's been all over the place, and it's a very, very famous and arguably priceless instrument. And to open the case was inspiring, and the first notes were liquid and beautiful. I'm still working out how my touch works within the context of an archtop. And as you'll see in future videos on my channel, the differences between a flat top acoustic guitar that I suspect a lot of you guys play more of as well, and an archtop are as dramatic sometimes as they are inspiring. So I feel like I'm learning a new language, and I love learning languages. So I'm pretty much at my happiest right now. Inspiration can hit at the strangest places. I could hear, as I was restringing the first two guitars, the DeQuisto and a guitar by Ted Megas, I enjoy the process of restringing an instrument. I enjoy everything that it teaches you. I think it's a vital part of owning a guitar is stringing it correctly, and I know that there are a million videos on YouTube, all these tutorials how to string your guitar. I'm probably not going to do one of those, guys, but you know, it's something that you can get into. I find I enter a sort of meditative state as it's going on. I had the window open, obviously, to let, I don't want to say fresh air, because you know, that's not what was happening, but some degree of oxygen in. And there was a busker down in the street playing saxophone along to a backing track. And once I had, once I'd got the guitar strung, I went and sat in the window and just sort of started jamming with him. And then I realized, oh, I should record this. This is actually really nice. What a beautiful moment. So I got this mic, in fact, I got it just set up and hit record, and he stopped. That was it, done for the rest of the night. So I played a little bit unaccompanied on my own, and you can see that here. And in fact, inspiration can sometimes get you halfway through a string change. I was working on the Ted Megas guitar, and look what happened. Okay, so I'm down a string, but whatever. So it's completely unpredictable, as you can see. Okay. Thank you so much to Jostein Guldbrandsen, to Professor Ben Sher, and to Chico Pinheiro for your beautiful playing. Soulful, lyrical, wonderful stuff. It was a genuine inspiration to spend time with you guys. I absolutely loved it. So in the next episode I will hang out with an amazing figure from the jazz magazine world and also get the chance to spend time with one of my favourite luthiers. Thank you so much for bearing with me on this. Please, if you do have any comments or questions, drop them down below. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay tuned.